WPIAL podcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Because you got games going on, some in the first round, some in the quarterfinals. Next week it'll be quarterfinals, semifinals. We're just going to call it Week 10. This is our recap of Week 10, the opening night of the WPIAL playoffs for 2025. And we thank our good friends at Edgar Snyder and Associates for helping us with our WPIAL playoff coverage. Stay local. Stay with Edgar Snyder and Associates. All right. Let's strike up the band and check out what happened on opening night. Telling stat right off the get-go. We had the 5A first round, 3A first round, 2A first round, and Class A first round, as well as the 4A quarterfinals. From Class 5A to 2A, 17 games, 15 home teams won, only 2 road teams won. Class A, different story. 4 home, 4 away. We'll get to that. Start in 5A. Good battle at Shaler between number 9, Kiski area, and number 8, Shaler, both looking for rare postseason success. And it goes to the Titans. Isaac McKay, 103 yards rushing and a touchdown. Shaler, 28. Kiski area, 8. The Cavaliers season ends at 4-7. Ryan Culligan, 2 touchdowns, a 34-yard run, and a 47-yard pick six. Helps Moon defeat Armstrong 48-21. The Riverhawks season ends at 4-7. Bethel Park 38, North Hills 7. Evan Devine 7 of 13 passing, 176 yards and a touchdown for the winning Hawks. The Indian season ends at 3-8. Ethan Hellman 9 of 18 passing, 156 yards and a touchdown. Upper St. Clair 46. Plum 8. The Mustangs scored the first 8 points, 46 unanswered for the Panthers. Plum ends their season at 5-6. Quarterfinals next week. Remember, there were 4 teams on bye that will be hosting next week. Shaler at Pine Richland. The Rams, the number 1 seed. They just defeated Shaler last week. Moon will visit Penn Trafford. Those 2 teams met earlier this year with the Warriors beating the Tigers. That's part of the reason why Penn Trafford had a bye and Moon, as the 5th seed, had to play and now has to travel east to Penn Trafford next week. Bethel Park, Peters Township for the second time in 3 weeks. This time it will be at number 2 Peters Township. And Upper St. Clair at Woodland Hills, a good one in the 6-3 matchup at the Wolverina in Turtle Creek. All right, 4A, the quarterfinals were this week. Remember, 4A, 6A, only 3-week postseason. Actually, 6A, only 2 weeks of postseason. And then they go into the state quarterfinals. Keymon Spell, 187 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. McKeesport cruises past Chartiers Valley, 44-7, ending the Colts' really great season at 7-4. Very good season. We could call it great, but it was very good. Nice bounce back year for Char Valley. Thomas Jefferson, 31, Mars, 14, Kane Egerton, 6 receptions, 129 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Plus, he had a 98-yard pick six that sealed the deal for the Jaguars. Mars season ends at 8-3. Aliquippa 21, Trinity 14, 14 unanswered in the fourth quarter for the Quips. Akiva Woods, a 70-yard run, tied the game. Marquise Council, you can call him Lazarus, but he's back. We thought everyone thought that he was done for the season, but Marquise Council Jr. to Josh Lay, both their dads were outstanding players at Aliquippa. They connect on a 38-yard touchdown pass. That's the game winner. Aliquippa 21, Trinity 14. The Hillers' outstanding season ends at 6-5. And the 2 teams tied for the Parkway Conference Championship, meeting for a second time at Taggart Stadium. And it was a fantastic game. Montour up 7-0. Newcastle comes back. Marino Graham, 6 of 11, 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. They take a 14-7 lead. Montour late drives down. They score with under a minute left. Lucero says, we're going for two. Brandon Bennett, the outstanding sophomore quarterback, slips and falls as he tried to reverse field, and the 2-point conversion, no good. Newcastle 14, Montour 13. The Spartan season ends at 7-4. So your semifinals next week in Class 4A, the 8-3 McKeesport Tigers against the 9-2 Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. TJ beat McKeesport earlier this year. Keelan Spell only played 3 plays in that game before he was hurt. TJ also beat McKeesport in last year's 4A championship game. The other semifinal, 7-3 Aliquippa against 9-2 Newcastle. Those sites to be determined, neutral sites for the 4A semifinals next week. Newcastle earlier this year defeated Aliquippa. All right, 3A first round, Dawson Gallia 2 touchdowns. Amos Glenn 2 touchdowns, including a 56-yard punt return. Freeport 35, Beaver 27. Joey Folitsky, wow. 23 of 24 passing, 433 yards, 6 touchdowns. North Catholic 56, Burrell 14. The Buccaneers season ends at 4-7. By the way, the Beaver Bobcats season ends at 5-6. Hopewell, one of the rare road teams that wins outside of Class A. Hopewell goes to Southmoreland and they beat the Scullies 42-6. Nasir Wade, 113 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns for the Vikings. They hadn't made the playoffs since 2012. Here they're headed to the quarterfinals now after the win. Southmoreland season ends at 9-2. And Highlands blanks Derry 14-0. Tevin Owen Kratzenberg, 172 yards and a touchdown for the winning Golden Rams. The Trojan season done at 6-5. So the quarterfinals next week, 4 first-round byes. So they will be hosting quarterfinal games next week. It'll be Freeport at number 1 Avonworth, North Catholic at number 4 Elizabeth Forward, Hopewell at number 2 Imani Christian, and Highlands visiting number 3 Central Valley. All right, let's go to Class 2A, 5 first-round games. Bobby Fadden, our player of the week last week, 13 of 22 passing, 140 yards and 2 touchdown tosses. He also ran for 86 yards. Mohawk needs a late field goal to win 17-14 over Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. The Chargers season ends at 5-6. South Allegheny 61, Waynesburg Central 13. Nice bounce-back win for the Gladiators after losing to Steel Valley last week. Elijah Cook, 9 of 12 passing, 141 yards and 3 touchdown tosses. Joe Gammer at 107 yards on the ground and 2 scores for the winning Gladiators. Waynesburg Central season ends at 5-6. Tristan Reed, 2 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown runs. Washington 37, Beaver Falls 7. The Tigers season done at 4-6. Remember, they were winless a year ago, so nice bounce back for Beaver Falls. Apollo Ridge 28, Riverside 7. Alexander Clausen, 7 of 13 passing, 1 for 90 yards. He also rushed for 131 yards. Jaden McCray, 4 touchdowns on 81 yards rushing as the Vikings knock off the Riverside Panthers 28-7. Riverside season ends at 5-6. And Tyler Smiley, 24 of 36 passing, 269 yards and 2 touchdowns. Elwood City 35, Keystone Oaks 13. The Golden Eagles season ends at 4-7. 4 matchups in Class 2A quarterfinals next week. It will be Mohawk taking on top seed Seton LaSalle, likely Dormont Stadium for that one. South Allegheny will take on Washington. That's the 4-5 matchup, a really good one, site to be determined. Apollo Ridge will visit number 2 Western Beaver. That is quite a trek from the northeast to the west of the district. And Elwood City, they also have a long trek. They will be visiting Campbell Field in Munhall to take on Steel Valley. All right, finally, Class A. Matt Sieg doing what Matt Sieg does. 161 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns Fort Cherry 48, Avella 14. The Eagles, very good season, ends at 6-5. Gino Mazzacco, 6 of 8 passing, 133 yards and a touchdown. Also rushed for 43 yards and 2 scores. Neshannock big over Leechburg, 49-14. The Blue Devils season ends at 7-4. Luca Santini, 5 of 10 passing, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Colton Carlson, 91 yards and a score. Laurel shuts out Jefferson Morgan, 35-0. The Rockets season ends at 8-3. It was the Dom and Dom show for Chartiers Houston in an upset, 12-5. Dominic Andrioli, 2 touchdowns for the Bucks. Dominic Comer, a 72-yard pick six. Chartiers Houston 26, Southside 21. The Rams season ends at 8-3. Clairton, 10th straight shutout. They blanked Monessen 50-0. Jeff Thompson, 7 of 11 passing, 159 yards and 3 scores for the Bears. Jeanette, 38, Bentworth, 24. Kaimani Brown, 8 of 16 passing, 138 yards and a touchdown. He also ran for 132 yards and a score as the Jayhawks win by 14. Bearcats season ends at 8-3. By the way, Monessen, their season ends at 6-5. Wild won at Dormont Stadium. It was tied at 28 after 3 quarters, but Bishop Canavan outscores Greensburg Central Catholic 22-7 in the final quarter to win 50-35. Mayante Mott, 182 yards rushing and a touchdown for the Crusaders. The Centurion season ends at 5-6. And Frazier, the 11th seed, wins at California 27-12. Brady Seacrest, 6 of 12 passing, 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. Derek Diamond, 98 yards from the rough, if you will, for Frazier. California, the Trojan season ends at 9-2. And if you're keeping score at home, the Tri-County South 0-4 into the quarterfinals. 3 teams each for the Black Hills Conference and the Eastern Conference, 2 from the Big 7 Conference. Here are the quarterfinal matchups. Sites to be determined next week. The 11-0 Fort Cherry Rangers against the 8-3 Neshannock Lancers. The 10-1 Laurel Spartans against the 8-3 Chartiers Houston Buccaneers. The 10-1 Clairton Bears against the 8-3 Jeanette Jayhawks. A couple of Eastern Conference rivals going at it there. And the 8-3 Bishop Canavan Crusaders against the 7-4 Frazier Commodores. Again, those sites to be determined. Also, real quick, on Friday, 3 City League teams in action in PIAA regional semifinals. Not a good night. All 3 have their seasons end. In the 5A regional semifinal, Hollidaysburg remains undefeated. The Golden Tigers now 11-0. They crush Alderdice 69-8. The Dragons finish their season at 4-6. PIAA 4A regional semifinals, Clearfield from District 9 knocks off University Prep, the City League champions, 14-0. Wildcat season ends at 7-3. The Bison now 8-3, moving on to the 4A regional finals. And in the 2A regional semifinals, Central Clarion 56, Perry 8. The District 9 Wildcats now 7-4 as their season continues. The Commodores of Perry Traditional Academy 1-8 is their final record. Westinghouse off next week. They are in the first round of the Class A state playoffs, which begins in 2 weeks. All right, thanks to our producer, Chris Lackner. I'm Don Rebel. We hope you enjoyed our coverage, and we hope you continue to enjoy it. Something every day this week as we get you ready for the second week. We'll call it Week 11. Thanks as well to our good friends at Edgar Snyder and Associates. For Chris, I'm Don. Thank you for joining us. Rebel Yell Podcast, Trib Live, High School Sports Network.